Society Pass is a Southeast Asian-based fintech and digital e-commerce company. And with me is Dennis Nguyen, the CEO. Great to have you back in New York from
Always happy to see you.
Great to have you here. So bring me up to date. What's the latest with Society Pass?
Well, we had a stellar 2022. Acquired 8 companies, and we pretty much laid the foundation of our 6 verticals, which of course are loyalty, lifestyle, food and beverage delivery, telecoms, digital advertising, and of course travel.
Yeah.
And so we got the 6 verticals all built up. Revenues have gone through the roof, huh?
Really? Do you think that's because of the reopening after the pandemic?
It absolutely is. Yeah. Southeast Asia effectively reopened its borders on March 15th, 2022.
Okay.
And so what we've seen for the last 9.5 months of 2022 is just a dramatic pent-up demand for so many goods and services that, quite frankly, were not there during the 2.5 years of the pandemic. For example, our travel platform, NusaTrip, we've seen a month-on-month revenue growth of somewhere between 5 to 10% every single month since March 2022.
Wow. Let's talk about the verticals a little bit. We'll start with NusaTrip. So people book trips. I mean, how does it work, and what kind of trends are you seeing with travel? Are people staying close to home, or are they wanting to explore globally?
Absolutely. So NusaTrip, it's not just it's based in Southeast Asia, but we actually service 500 airlines throughout the world. We have over 200,000 hotels on our platform throughout the world. And so you here in the United States, blonde-haired, blue-eyed American lady, you could buy a ticket from JFK to Chicago.
So I could buy on NusaTrip?
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's like Priceline.com. So having said that, we are, of course, Southeast Asian focused. And so NusaTrip, we cater to our Southeast Asian clientele. And I got to tell you, post-pandemic, March 15th, there's what we call in Southeast Asia revenge travel.
Yes.
Revenge travel. And so people have this pent-up demand that people, they haven't traveled for 2.5 years. And so people are going from Jakarta to Tokyo, Singapore to Bali, Bali to Europe, so on and so forth. A ticket that used to cost $150 from Singapore to Jakarta, which is effectively from, I would say, New York City to, say, Chicago, today costs $450.
Yeah.
Why?
I've experienced that myself. So
92% of all the seats now are taken up, every single flight.
And a lot of the airlines pulled back, on their flights during the pandemic. They didn't need to pay all these people, and now they're trying to scramble to keep up with it. Now, what about the digital advertising? That's really interesting, and there's a lot of interesting trends going on with that too. What are you seeing there?
Well, here the thing with Southeast Asia, of course, is it's exploding. Okay, the rise of social media, the rise of social commerce. There's a lot of influencers right now in Southeast Asia, whether it be women or men, that quite frankly, they have their own businesses. They have 100,000 followers, 1 million followers, 2 million followers. Whatever followers they have, they are now, quote unquote, a celebrity. And so what we do at Thoughtful Media, which is our digital advertising platform based in Thailand, we go to our international and regional advertisers, Coca-Cola, Apple, Nestle. We say, hey, they come to us and say, hey, why don't you create and curate a branding campaign for us? In Vietnam, Nestle, large food conglomerate, came to us and said, hey, Bill, help create us a campaign for us. Well, we sure did. So we got some influencers, numbers about 10, 15, that were running a campaign, whether it be YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and we're creating campaigns for them instead of going through the traditional TV channels of advertising, they go through social media. And quite frankly, the bang for the buck for our advertisers, I believe, is much greater than traditional advertising.
Now, AI is the hot thing. Have you incorporated any of that in any of your businesses?
That's going to be a discussion for 2023.
Okay.
2023 and 2024. But yes, definitely, it is part of the business plan.
Yeah. So let's talk about you have the 6 verticals now. Is there anything you feel like you're missing or that you would like to add to the ecosystem of SOPA?
So the Society Pass ecosystem, of course, is all about bringing millions of registered consumers on our platform. By the way, we have 3.3 million registered users on our platform now. And of course, merchants, whether it be restaurants, airlines, hotels, it doesn't matter. We now have over 200,000 merchants on our platform. With those two groups, users and merchants, they interact and we act as the broker of whatever transaction, whether it be lifestyle, travel, and we take a brokerage fee of that. So we're very happy with the 6 verticals that we have right now, but I got to tell you, we're looking at other verticals. The music brokerage business. I'd love to buy the Ticketmaster.com of Southeast Asia.
Yeah.
So we're looking at things like that. Other verticals, we want to get into video games. You know, Asians, we're very good at a number of things. We like to have children. Right? There's billions of us, right? We love to eat. Our food's great. And we love to play video games. So we're looking at video gaming companies and entering that.
Yeah, interesting. And so it sounds like you're kind of just focusing on Southeast Asia. No plans for any global expansion or any other parts of the world?
I'm happy in Southeast Asia.
Yeah.
There's 680 million people.
Yeah.
All of which are very ambitious, young.
Yes,
young,
and very digitally savvy.
And very digitally savvy. I mean, depending on the country, the median age is anywhere from 24 to 32. Contrasted here with this country in the United States, where it's 42 years of age, median age. China, where it's 43. Japan, where it's 52. So it's relatively young population in Southeast Asia. The economies are all growing somewhere between 5.5% to 7% this year. Okay. Contrasted again with the United States. Here, we'll be lucky to grow 2.5%.
Right.
We all know that. And so, and of course, digital penetration is now over 90%. Mobile phone penetration is over 90%, has reached first world status.
Yeah. Anything, final thoughts you want to add about Society Pass, where you're headed, where you've been?
Well, we're about to announce in 2 weeks our 2022 results. I can actually tell you, I guess we actually filed an 8K and put it on our website. So yeah, we're going to recognize over 1,200% year-on-year revenue growth.
Oh my goodness.
From 2021 to 2022. This year, 2023, we're going to grow, I would say, similar levels. No, we're implementing the business plan that we said we were going to do in our IPO. Our employees have grown from 45 employees at the end of 2021 to 250 employees at the end of 2022. By June 30th, I expect that number to be roughly 500 employees.
Wow.
So we're growing like this and very excited with where Society Pass is positioned in Southeast Asia.
Well, and I forgot to mention, I got the pleasure to talk to some of your kind of lieutenants, so to speak, and you have a lot of women in very key positions of the company. So is that just strategic, or did that just happen that way, or?
Well, I'm a big believer that women in Chinese, we have a Chinese phrase saying that women hold half of heaven. And so I believe that it makes great business sense to incorporate not only employees, by the way, we have over 50% of our employees are women, but mentor and hire mentor women leaders. And so within Society Pass, we have a group of women leaders, I think you've interviewed a number of them, that we say are the women leaders of SOPA. And that's what they are. They're whether it's COO, heads of various business units, country managers, they really run the company alongside myself.
Yeah, and extremely competent. I mean, all of them that I've talked to. So
absolutely.
Well, Dennis, great to have you back, and look forward to the next interview and more updates and growth for Society Pass this year.
Thank you for having us as always.